Hi everyone, it's Meredith again. Today I wanted to go over the items that I feel you will need to do a cross stitch pattern, whether it be your first one or if you're kind of getting back into the hobby of cross stitching. These are the things that I use on the daily. So first thing we're going to start with, the first thing you'll get when you're kind of deciding what you're going to do is a pattern. You're going to be ordering a pattern, buying a pattern. Patterns come in many different things. I keep a binder of all my past patterns just so that I have them in one location. You'll get a pattern. You can either print it out, or there's also books still that you can get at craft stores. But I typically buy mine and print them, or if I don't print them, if they're a smaller kind of pattern, I will just look off my iPad or my phone and use that as my guide. So that's the first thing you'll need. And I made a video yesterday about my top 5 companies that I purchased from for patterns. So check that out if you're interested in getting into this, which ones I enjoy, to kind of help you with your journey finding what you enjoy. The next thing you'll need is an embroidery hoop. There's a variety of sizes. I like the wooden ones. I think they're better for fabric than the plastic ones, and better for the environment as well. This is probably one of the first ones I have. This is from my mom, and then I have some variety of sizes. I have more than this just because over time you probably will get more, but just get one that will kind of fit your pattern size. That's really all you'll need, and these are relatively inexpensive. The next thing, so that is what I've always used. And then lately, like within the last year and a half, my sister introduced me to these. This is a germ catcher hoop. You can make these from items you get at Joann's, and then the cover, I bought the fabric at Joann's, and then my niece made me the cover because she's super crafty as well. It's a family trait. And so what's great about this is that you'll clamp your project inside, and then the fabric, when you're using it, your hands are going to touch the outside and not your fabric inside. So it keeps it a little cleaner, less cleaning later. But you do want to always wash your hands before you start sewing, regardless, but it's just a nice precautionary extra thing to have. And I like it really stretches the whole fabric, and you're not touching the extra fabric that's hanging down. So there's lots of benefits for that one. The next thing you'll want to get is your fabric. Now, pay attention to what your pattern suggests, what kind of fabric you should get. This is an example. This is a linen. This is one of my favorite ones to stitch with, is a linen. I wouldn't recommend linen if you're starting out or you're getting back into it, but if you've been stitching for a while, a linen is a great option. I think it's a little more delicate look to it, and what makes it a little more difficult is that you have to stitch a square of 4 instead of a square of 1. So it makes it, when I first did it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a lot harder than I thought. But once you get past that, now I can just look at it and stitch without ever really consciously having to work it out in my head. So that is the next thing you'll need. You will also need needles. And then this is a 26 tapestry needle. These are great. You'll want to get a set of them. They only really come in a pack, but you'll use these. I typically change my needle out every project, but then again, sometimes your needles go missing and you find them in the floor later. So be careful, but you do need, you'll need a set of these. So that's what I use, the 26. You can do 26 or 28 size. And then you'll also need a pair of like needlepoint scissors. These are my favorite pair. This is a bird. You can still get these. These are available. I think they're by DMC, and I just got these at Michael's, and they just make me smile. But any pair of like needlepoint scissors or sewing scissors, you'll be fine with. So yeah, get something like that. And then this is something that also is new, when I should say like a year and a half new for me. This is a needle minder. This has been a lifesaver for me. You can get any patterns. I've seen ones that look like enamel pins, or you can even make them from enamel pins. But I really liked this one that I got from, this is from it's Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. That's who that's from. And they do a variety, and people collect them. So what it is basically, it's a magnet. So there's one side, and then there's a magnet on the other side, and you'll put it on your fabric and the back, and the magnet on the back. And this holds your needle. So you're stitching, end of the night, you're ready to go to bed. You'll put it on there and it magnetizes. So you're less likely to lose it, and you know, your thread hanging off or whatever. So you're less likely to lose it that way. So I love these. They're great. And I can totally see why they're collectible, because there's so many cute ones out there. And then don't forget, you'll need your DMC floss. This is, or whatever embroidery, company they suggest. But I use DMC, and then I use any sort of clasp or anything that holds all your floss together. So those are also, you can find these in any craft store. Okay. So you're done cross stitching, and you finish your project, and you've ironed it. It's all complete. What do you do next? So you can make an ornament, you can make a wall hanging. You can also, I show an example, you can frame it to put it on your wall. This is what I plan on doing with this one, is put it on my wall somewhere. So you can frame it. But then there's those times where you're like, oh, I don't really need to have cross stitch throughout my entire house. What am I going to do with it? I just kind of want to hang on to it. I like cross stitching for a hobby. What am I going to do with it? What I do is, once I've ironed it and have it all completed, I bought this scrapbooking box. This is just for your 12 by 12 scrapbooking paper. And you can get these on sale at Michael's or Joann's. And I labeled it my cross stitch, and I put it in here. So I'll iron it and put it in here. But what I do also is I put acid-free tissue paper between each layer. So it'll just protect it over the years from color transfer and stuff. So yeah, so that's an option for you as well. And then finally, this one's a little extra, but I have come to really love it, is a book light or some sort of light. This is my LED book light. It has three levels of light. And what you can do is you can clip it on, what I do is I clip it on my embroidery hoop as I'm sewing. And at night, you can really see, like, I almost stitch better at night in the dark than I do during the day. Especially with that linen. So or dark fabric. So you really have to like be able to see. And this is great for anybody, but for those of us who don't have the best eyes, even more essential. And so, there's other things that you may need, like a magnifier. I will in the future probably need a magnifier. Right now I'm fine. But yeah, so I think that's it. That's everything that I kind of have grabbed of my usual like bin of stuff that I use daily. But if you have any questions, let me know. I'm always happy to answer. I know a lot of my friends are getting back into cross stitching, which is really exciting. I can't wait to see all their projects. But if you come across anything or have an idea of something that maybe would benefit me, please let me know. I would love to hear it. All right. Well, I hope you guys all have a great day and happy stitching. Bye.